Hello everyone, welcome back to Paddling Pool 207. We are here with me, aka Spy, the annoying child, and then there's Pat. Hello, Pat.
Hi, Spy. You're not that annoying.
I mean, I kind of am, so like, I don't think we should be arguing about this.
Okay, what we should be talking about is these two teams. Kool and Killas versus Raimon.
I like the name of Raimon. It kind of reminds me of Rayman Legends. You know that game?
No, I don't, but
Oh.
I believe you.
Okay, I mean, that's kind of sad. Oh my god, we have two splashes though. Wait, which team is which? I'm confused. Oh yeah, Raimon has double splash. That's off to a great start, and we have double 96 deco and Zeko Fin Charger on the side of Kool Killas. I like that.
Kool Killas with quadruple walls.
Oh
That's
yeah,
not
I just
something you see every day.
How is that supposed to work out? I mean, Raimon has a double splat bomb and double burst bomb, so I mean that could work against a quad wall. I mean,
Yeah.
how is that even supposed to go down? I mean, this map is already kind of dead because Eeltail just sucks now, but now it's just rather more chaotic just because we have quad wall.
I mean, given how linear the map is, having quad wall is a decent option, to be honest.
Yeah, it'll just create more choke points according to the choke point. Like, they're just... Oh, there's a crab. We already talked about crab here. And as we speak of that, Kool Killas actually has only like 68 points left. I never know how to refer to these kind of points they do in ranked. I never know how to refer to those.
Yeah, but I guess this wall works well for Kool Killas, and like the double Kraken that they used earlier really gave them the enemy court and allowed them to push the tower so far. And
I definitely get what you mean, because Kraken is like in a really good spot right now, especially in modes such as Tower, where it just can stall the entire checkpoint while nothing is like they're shooting the Kraken, but it just doesn't get any knockback. It's kind of crazy how weird the special is. I feel like they'd have to fix this. I mean, as we speak of this, Kool Killas is actually up to a great lead right now because they're already up for the last checkpoint. Well, there's only 25 left on the point counter. I know how to refer to that now. But it actually seems like the 96 deco is the only one left, and they'll definitely be punished as we speak.
yeah, and you see, like, the perks of having such long range comp is that once you've taken the space, and the Kraken allows you to do that, you can do so much with it because the enemy can't really approach you and they have no choice but to throw bombs and hope for the best. With 3 burst bombs, you could get a kill easily with it, but right now you need a 3rd burst bomb to do that, and they don't.
Yeah, I get what you mean, because like the bomb output on the side of Raimon is like really strong, especially like 2 burst bombs are really good, but I feel like, as you said, 3 burst bombs would be better. And it's just kind of interesting to see how to kind of differentiate the long distance comp that Kool Killas uses versus the short range comp that Raimon actually utilizes. I mean, that's literally the entire opposite. Like, we have a junior that's already like really low on range.
Right now, we say fight for middle. Like, Raimon's still trying to find a way to really push up, even when they are several players up. They have had trouble to really get space, get forward, and right now they are finally moving this tower forward.
Yeah, I mean, Raimon could actually really turn this around. Like, their special usage right now was really good. They really cleared up a lot of space using those 2 crab tanks, and they also got another kind of secure method of utilizing all their defense with that bubbler, which really didn't quite give them the lead, but they're also only down to the last checkpoint, which is really strong. even if they could not turn this around. I feel like the only thing Kool Killas would have to do now is just stall. I mean, they have a Kraken, they have a lot of displacement. Like, Kraken could also be seen as a displacement special just because it moves people out of the area just for being there, just for existing. Like, literally.
Indeed, but right now, Kool Killas back on the attack. They want this and they want it now. And the Krakens, they are doing so much damage.
Now, we saw the 96 deco going down, and I feel like that just kind of points out that the main weapon on its own is not in a really great spot, just because it has a lot of RNG involved, which is kind of... I mean, I get why they would do that. It's a two-shot kill weapon with a lot of range, so I guess it should have the downsides. And actually, Kool Killas just got wipe out, and that gives them game 1. That was sick.
Yes.
Range comp all the way.
Yeah, range comp really doing the work here. I mean, I get what you mean with the RNG on the 96, but you see it, like, they needed to have 2 players just to rush the 96 and get there. And even if you have RNG, you have like so much threat that comes from the weapon, and people can't really walk at you. Because the first few shots on the 96, they are pretty precise, and you can do a lot with those.
Yeah, I definitely, like, you're definitely right about that, but that just kind of shows how, you know, set dependent these weapons are. Like with 96, kind of mediocre weapon, even though it's really strong in the long term. Weapon just got a really good kit, and that just gives it a top tier spot, just because it has a really great kit that just kind of secures it while the RNG is kind of doing its own thing.
And speaking of maps that are good for range, our next map will be Museum on Zones.
I never know how to feel about Museum because I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this map. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I always lose. No, but I actually feel like this map is kind of great. I like the kind of flank that they have on the right side of the spawn. It was actually a really good flank for chargers, but then they put that sign in their face. Like, what the hell? This is such a poll update. What the hell, Nintendo? Step up your game.
I don't know. I think it's a great map with like lots of options for lots of different weapons. You really want to be able to rush in, get the enemy platform, but you still have to look for the flanks. Like, there's a lot to this map, and I feel like it's a map where Kool Killas will probably need more paint than what they had for this first game, because it's zones and you want enough weapons to take the zone fast. But their range, the range that they had, I think they should keep that, because on this map it can do so much.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only weapon that they would have to switch out is the Glugadoolies, just because I feel like people underestimate the pain of 96. It's actually really good, I feel like. Like, you could put out a lot of specials with that thing, honestly. Well, it may have a low fire rate, its paint is actually really great. I just feel like it needs to kind of paint its feet sooner than 5 shots. Like, you saw in one video, like Prochar was just ranting about that. It was kind of funny.
And here
okay.
we go.
I mean, Kool Killas actually just kind of changed their comp. They actually got a T-Tech and a 52 gal now. So
yes,
they still have double gal, but they don't have double 96.
Yeah, and only 3 balls. They have a splat bomb now, which probably is for the best for this map. Raimon going in with the strikes already.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like this comp is again kind of focused on displacement. Like, we have the Killer Wave 5.1, which is really good for displacement. We have the Tri-Strike, which is like one of the best displacement specials in the game. And I feel like this could be really good for Kool Killas, because Raimon kind of uses the same kind of specials, except for that big bubbler, which is really not for displacement, while the crab tanks are for damage and for displacement, kind of.
And right now both teams are fighting for the zone, but it looks like Raimon is taking an option on it. Really trapping Killas on their side of the map.
I mean, utilizing that Killuay right now, I feel like that could have been used better because that one crab tank was just kind of focused on them while they were standing on the mid platform. Though I feel like that killer whale was just kind of giving them enough space for this one push right now. Even if they did not get the zone right now, they certainly got it now with that great usage of a Booyah Bomb while like 2 people are up against the right side, but that splash is just going on a rampage.
And right now Nolan alone with the 96 trying to keep the zone and secure the jumps for the teammates. And it's as you said, like Kool Killas with these special, they always have an option to push forward. And even when they're back, like they can just keep pushing forward, and then with the range that they still have with the 96 and the glue gas, they can stay where they are just with the force of their main weapons.
Yeah.
And their walls.
Yeah, especially with their walls. And I also feel like with that 96 and the Kraken, I feel like the Kraken is just the foundation of every push in this, because it gets a lot of displacement, it could get some kills, and it also just kind of pierces through bombs. Like, you run through that bomb and it just disappears. Like, what is this game? Okay, that was a great Booyah Bomb usage by that Glugadooli. That was actually really cool.
Decoy staying alive in that corner. That was impressive. But
yeah, they were like... Oh no, yeah, I'm sorry, like, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I feel like Kool Killas, yeah, on your point on the Kraken, like yes, it can do a lot, but the thing is, if it doesn't, like you're losing all the space that the 96 would take otherwise. So if the Kraken doesn't make value, doesn't get the picks, doesn't get the push, like you lose so much. And Kraken, like just go somewhere else, and you can. There are counters to Kraken, so you need to use the Kraken really at the right time, at the right spot, to make sure that you get the best of it, because otherwise you are losing your main weapon and you are not firing all that range with it.
Yeah, I feel like getting picks is just kind of the main focus of Kraken. But I also feel like with Crab Tank, it's fairly easy to gain any kind of value with that special, even if it's just displacement. I mean, you're force moving the other team out of the area, and as we speak, Raimon actually takes up the lead. Like, what the hell have we been talking about? Like, what the hell? Raimon just actually got the lead under our noses, and we were like just focused on ranting about Kraken.
Yes, and Kool Killas ready to take on. It's their turn to score some points. They have quite the penalty, but right now Gorilla making themselves apparent. The wall really slowing everything down.
I feel like if Kool Killas actually manages to kind of keep the zone, which it seems like they won't. Yeah, they actually won't right now. They would basically just have to defend and kind of go into attack mode while they're kind of defending this middle zone. But it actually seems like Raimon is really focused on getting picks right now, because they actually got a wipeout right now, and that is 1-1 for no one. For no one.
Yeah, great game by Raimon, really letting Kool-Aid get in, but immediately punishing it, making sure that Kool-Aid can take the zone, but they can't really keep it long enough. Meanwhile, Kool-Aid, like they took the zone, they took the lead, and then they just had to throw specials at the zone, and like Kool Killas really lacking a bit in terms of paint, which Raimon with the junior really wasn't a problem for them.
Yeah, that's just a typical junior. And I mean, now it's time to suffer for both teams, because we're going on Hammerhead bridge on Clam Blitz.
For both teams, not so sure, because again, look at Killas' map. It's a map where having range and having walls is super strong. So,
Yeah,
I feel like this set, these 3 map modes were designed for Killas, and Raimon just has to survive it and manage to go through all that range and pierce these walls.
Yeah, Killas just kind of gets some advantage out of Tetris block maps and just kind of counters them by creating even more choke points with walls.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? That's also a kind of strategy to do this. You don't have to force yourself through choke points with specials. Just create more choke points with walls. That's the way to go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a map that could profit Raimon a lot, given its Clam Blitz, because we've seen Killas really push forward, and they're really good at that, but Raimon, in terms of sustaining that push and staying where they are, so far, I think have gotten an edge over Killas, and this is what allowed them to win the splat zones. And on this map, you need to get on the enemy platform, but you also need to stay there to keep the basket open and really use your time there as well as you can. And this could turn in favor of Raimon, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, their wall usage is just kind of what's the best here. I mean, I don't know if they just have a love for walls or they don't even care about what kind of subs they have. I mean, quad wall is just a kind of strategy that I've never really seen before. So it is really interesting to see how they kind of utilize it, even if it's just creating less space for the enemy. Imagine just like 4 walls stacked up into a big wall.
I mean, they're using weapons that profit from wall a lot, like the Gals, the Fire Fiend, the Blue Gals, of course. And time for a tiebreaker.
Raimon just sticking to their old comms with double splash. And we actually have triple wall now and an end zap. I mean, I feel like that could kind of improve the movement that is kind of lacking on 96 with that Tacticooler. And I feel like that's kind of important on Clamlets, especially with that big choke point before the basket, that you get some speed in to get the basket open.
Yes, that zap is really going to give the paint support that the 96 and the Lucas really can't. Ooh!
That double, though.
That double! That's the power of the Kraken. Like, you can just get in and get the kills. And right now it's on Alex to really stop everything with one crab tank. That's another Kraken. More Kraken against the crab tank. And Killas already at 29. Sorry.
That's a really strong push, and that's only been the first minute. And we just see how powerful specials and especially Kraken are against these kind of choke points that are really keeping the enemies from getting into their actual spawn region. And we see the Kraken in use again. It got another pick, and it's just on a rampage again. That's just 96 for you, though.
Yes, the 96 will get punished after getting that kill. And right now it looks like Raimon has a good option to push forward. It's just the Zap trying desperately to paint and keep things for their team.
I mean, it seems like Raimon actually goes off to a counter push and getting 2 big clans in, but that isn't enough because Killas actually gets a wipe out that is really strong, and now all Killas just kind of has to do is paint because they are lacking map control. But I feel like if they want to push it again, they could potentially do it, especially because the one Booyah Bomb just got a pick. And we see that a Tacticooler in use again, and the Kraken goes into action mode again. Just focusing on that crab tank getting a pick and also giving a jump for the person holding the big clam. even if I don't think it was the Kraken who gave them the jump spot. But I still feel like Kraken is way too overpowered in Clam Blitz.
And Kool, they're out with their penalty and they are scoring more points now. They're just a Super Clam away from the win, but I guess this will be the end of that push.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of unfortunate to see the push end really early, but I also feel like it just kind of gives them a little more advantage, even if they don't really have to push anymore, because their difference is pretty high. It's 40 points, and I mean, Raimon would actually have to get in 3 big clams in a row if we want to add up the math. I don't know, I don't like math. But that big bubbler was actually really interesting because it was just kind of focused on that one point that could get them into the enemy base. And we actually see Raimon collecting big clams right now. They have 2 big clams. Are they actually gonna insist on using 3 big clams to get the lead? I mean, even if they did, they'd still not get the lead, I think, because it'd only be 20-20. So it would get 21. What the hell am I talking about?
I'm not sure, but right now Killas wants to get rid of this crab and on this Super Clam. Another push, more points in, maybe just 1 clam, and yeah, that's it with the penalty.
What the hell, 7 points?
Yep. And
no, they
game.
actually got the KO. Yo, I feel like Raimon was not prepared for that. But they actually set on the bubbler, so I guess they were kind of expecting a push, but I feel like they didn't expect it to be this strong. But I feel like Raimon actually had a good strategy for the end, even if it failed, because using 3 big clams gives you kind of a disadvantage because you could see 3 players on the map. But I also feel like if they got a lot good special coordination, this could have really turned out good for them.
I mean, with Killas' aggressivity and really getting in with the Kraken and getting the picks, I'm not sure having like a lot of Super Clams on your team is a good idea, because the moment one player is separated from the team, everybody knows. And and everybody's gonna rush you, and they have the range, they have the Krakens, and they can get away with it with the walls, so that was like very dangerous on the side of Raimon. But after after these several pushes that Killas got on their team, they had to take the risk, I guess.
Yeah, but I still appreciate the thought put into this, even if it did turn out to be kind of risky and not really working up, ending in the end up working in the end. I'm switching up words again. What is wrong with me? We should really get into this break now. See you later, guys.
Yes, we'll be back with quarter finals very soon.
Splatoon Stronghold, a stronghold for competitive Splatoon, providing resources to long-timers and newcomers alike. If you're new to the competitive scene or still figuring out how to join, we have a getting started guide and plenty of other resources to help you in your journey. If you are a seasoned veteran, we still have plenty to offer. You can find and join tournaments as well as participate in our Captain Forum and find free agents and teams. Our mission is to make competitive Splatoon easily accessible to everyone. So what are you waiting for? Join the Splatoon Stronghold today!